Well, hey crafty friends, it's Heidi Scott with DIY Dreaming, and in this full-length video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make some super cute black and white carrots. We're going to make some that have these little polka dots, we're going to make one that has a stripe and buttons, and then we're going to make one with this fleur-de-lis pattern. So it should be really fun as you're hopping on. Say hello, let me know where you're watching from, feel free to sprinkle. I'm going to show you also how to do the tops of these, because that's what I think makes these so fun. So that's what we're going to be doing. I'd love to know where you're watching from, so let me know and feel free to sprinkle. All right, let's do the polka dot one first. Let me tell you how I got started. I made a pattern, like I always do, out of computer paper that was 4.5 inches wide and 7 inches long. And basically, I just folded a piece of paper, this piece of paper, in half, and I kind of drew and cut what I thought could be the shape of a carrot. And then I pinned it to my fabric. And we are using canvas duck that is plain. And we are also using some of this canvas duck that I got last year that has this black and white stripe. This, I think, came from Hobby Lobby. And let's talk for 2 seconds about canvas duck. It's gonna come in different weights. This is the 10-ounce weight. It's the thickest, heaviest. The next one down is 8-pound weight, or 8 ounce. It's 8 something. I like both of these. But you don't want a super thin canvas because it won't hold the shape well. Okay, so I pinned this onto a piece and then I cut it out. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to pin the body or glue the body together, and then I'll show you how to do the polka dots, and then we'll do the little top loops, and then we'll do the other ones. And this idea, by the way, could be remade by you with any kind of fabric that you want, any color that you want. So if you're not into black and white, which I don't know why, but this year I'm really thinking that black and white would be fun to do for Easter. Okay, so see, I have this little thing glued together front to back, and I left the top open. Next thing is we're going to use some of these little black pom-poms that you can get at Dollar Tree for $1.25, and we're just going to glue them. You know, they're not the super best quality pom-poms, but they are sufficient. And if you don't have those, but maybe you have some of this kind of rip-rack stuff, you could cut the pom-poms off of that and use those. But these little black pom-poms came from my Dollar Tree not very long ago. And I've seen them in other colors as well. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of randomly put some blobs of glue on here and push my pom-poms down into it. What do you guys think so far? I don't know. I just get, I get kind of tickled with these sort of crafts that, because this is so super inexpensive. The canvas duck cloth is not expensive at all. This little bit of canvas is not expensive at all. A little bit of polyfill is not expensive at all. And a little bit of, we're going to use some of this black tulle. It's not expensive either, so each carrot is probably, I don't know, 25 cents. And you can just whip them out like crazy. Okay, let's do the tops. And I want to point out that I have 2 different styles. This one has a whole bunch going different directions that are cut. Can you guys see that? This one has the same idea, but I did not cut the loops. So that is totally up to you what you want to do, whether you like them cut or loopy. So to do that, I'm just going to take some of my, I think this is the 8-ounce canvas duck, And I'm going to take a snip, and then we're going to rip. All right, and this is what you're going to end up with. Let me pull my massive excess strings off, and then I'll show you how to do those, the carrot top using this canvas die, which I think this just looks really cool. It's different. You could, of course, use some greenery or green raffia or ribbon or absolutely whatever you want. Okay. When I made carrots a few years ago, I'll show you those, I did the same thing. All right, so I don't know how long this strip is. We probably won't use the whole entire thing. This was a carrot project that I made a few years ago, and it has the same kind of top. It's a little bit smaller than the ones that I'm making today. Okay, so you're gonna start at one spot, and you're just gonna glue a loop. Let me tell you how big the loops are. Where is my ruler? What are you guys thinking so far? Thank you so much for the stars, everyone. Okay, this is about 3.5 inches. It could be shorter, longer, whatever you want. And then I'm just gluing. And then I'm going to fold it back up, but kind of at a little angle, and I'm going to put some glue there. We'll go up and come down and glue this. Does that make sense? I mean, it's not brain surgery. Then we'll go the other direction. So I'm going to kind of turn it this way and go up and then come back down and glue it. And then you're just going to keep going as thick or as long as you want. If you want, you can twist the loops at the top. It is completely up to you. And these are such an inexpensive way to finish your carrots. Let's just use the whole thing. So I have no idea how wide that was. And you can use separate strips. It doesn't have to be one continuous long one. You basically get the idea, I'm sure. Oops. I do there. Between the glue strings and the strings, oh my word. Okay, so we'll come back down and then we'll say done. This is going to get glued inside of the little pouch. And I'm going to cut this tail off. All right, so here's our little loopy thing. Then, to make it have the just individual strips like this, I just cut a snip through every loop. I think I like it better that way, but you know, it's personal preference, what you like, that matters for your carrots. Okay, so here are my little top. And let me get something for my gluing device because it's got about 10 million strings on it. I'm using my low temperature Surebonder Cool Shot hot gluing device. This is under $10. You can get, I know I say this every video, you can get these at Hobby Lobby, at Walmart. I'm sure you can get them at Michael's and Joann's too. Under $10. It's a mini. It's a Cool Shot, which is a very low temperature one. And they last a long time. And the thing is, I have had way too many hot glue burns in my life as a crafter, and I'm just not willing to even risk that anymore. Okay, so here's the one that we have ready to go. And we're just gonna take some polyfill I'll start poking it in. I'm going to use my scissors to poke that clear down to the bottom. I saw some of these pom-poms at Dollar Tree just recently. I think I saw them in orange, and I think I saw them in hot pink also. Either one of those would be super cute. Okay, I'm gonna glue the little flippy thing for the top inside the back of my little carrot. So let's just put a bunch of glue here. Stick this in there. And then we will glue the whole thing shut. It's like making a little pocket. See how I've glue on my hands already? You don't want that. All right, and then what I opted to do for mine was to make a little tulle bow. And let me show you how I did that. I'm just gonna take a length, I don't know, 2 feet. And then I'm gonna keep doubling it over on itself. Alright, and then I have one of these clampy things from Dollar Tree. They have a smaller size too, but I'm just going to use that for a second to hold it together. And I'm going to take another not super long piece of this tulle, and I'm going to tie a knot in the center. I'll hold this up because I know it's hard to see. We'll trim the ends of it nice. Okay, so that is what we have. Can you see it better against maybe my shirt? And you can leave the loops on the bow part if you want, or you can snip those. I think this time I'll leave them, but I'm going to snip the tails so that they're about the same length as the loops. And then I'm just going to glue it right here. I could keep going and add a button or something, but I think with these polka dots, you really don't need a ton of embellishment. I think the polka dots say it all. And so there you go. If you want these shorter or you want the ends at an angle, you can totally do that. Imagine how cute some of these would be in a dough bowl with like some rattan balls, and or even Easter eggs, like cream colored Easter eggs, just in a dough bowl on a cabinet on your kitchen table, you know, that kind of thing would be super cute. Okay, so let's go on to the next one. The next one is this. All right, this is so cute. A few weeks ago, I created this fabric using a stencil and some black ink to make these little hearts. Do you guys remember that? I'll repost that video, so maybe I'll put a link to it in these comments. But I didn't use all of that fabric, so of course I hung on to it because I knew I'd want to use it for something else. And we're going to use it to make a carrot. This is what the stencil looks like. I just got a brand new one because I know I'm going to use my one that's for use a ton. And I want to be able to show you guys what it looks like when it's pristine and new. And then I used black ink. let it dry. I heat set it with an iron, and I got this piece of fabric. And I just took my pattern today and cut out a carrot. Here we go. And on the back is just the plain canvas duck, because why waste that fabric? I don't want to. Okay, so I'm going to glue these two pieces together, and you're going to notice that I did not do a good job of making the front and the back the same size. Not at all, but I'll show you how you fix that. Ginny Campbell says she loves the black and white. I'm glad. I do too. I think it's fun to mix things up. You know, next year I might do pastel colors for Easter. Who knows? Okay, look how bad I did of making those match. So this is easy enough to fix. Gloria says she loves the fleur-de-lis stencil, and of course she loves the Victorian pattern too. Me too. I love them both. I think honestly that the all-over pattern stencils are the most versatile stencils. They're the most usable all year long. I mean, because I'm using a fleur-de-lis stencil, which is not typically known as an Easter stencil or an Easter design, to create black and white Easter carrots. And I could use pretty much any all-over pattern stencil to do that. So I just think the pattern stencils are my favorite. All right, and we're gonna just do this one super simple. We'll probably do something at the top. I have a huge amount of black and white ribbon. This is just a little bit of it. I think I'm going to do the top part just a whole bunch of tulle. So let's try that. We'll kind of do the same thing as what we did before. I'll measure this to tell you how long it is. And I'll use my little clamp thing so that I can tie a piece around the end so it doesn't, you know, come out. Okay. This is about 5 3/4 inches long, mostly. And I need a piece to tie in a knot. Then we'll glue it on the back. And then we'll stuff it. It's easier if you do it in that order. On the polka dot one I just did, I didn't glue the little loops in until the very end, which makes it slightly more difficult. Okay. Having a hard time with this. I need to move it. So we have more room. Tomorrow, we will not be doing any carrots or Easter eggs, because I know you guys don't want to see Easter every single day between now and Easter. We'll do something completely different, but if you missed this craft where I showed you how to make these blue Easter eggs using that Dollar Tree tile, you should check it out. And I used that same stuff a few weeks ago to do this sign, this Psalm 119 verse 11 that says, I have hidden your word in my heart that I might not sin against you. I love that verse. And we talked about all of that. But anyways, this is just that Dollar Tree tile, cut in shapes, painted, and then distressed with a sponge. So there are tons of fun things that you can do. All right, I'm going to cut the tails off of this that I tied around it. And let's just trim the ends of this. Okay. Oops, I see one that didn't get trimmed. Okay, so this is going to be the top. And I could come back and add add a ribbon or something to it, which I might do, but I'll probably consider for a little bit and then do it. So let's put some glue, a blob of glue on the back inside, and stick our little carrot top in there. And let's stuff this puppy. I have got little pieces, hundreds of little pieces of canvas duck all over everything here. Today, let me tell you what I'm using for stuffing. Today I went real quick to get some groceries at Walmart and to look for some new polyfill because I was basically out. And they didn't have it again. So, I've done this before and it works just fine. I just got a pillow. And this one's an extra firm pillow. It was like $6.98. It's a ton of fluff in there. And it's pretty, it's got a pretty good stiffness to it. So it's great for filling stuffies. And, but I do prefer the polyfill that is made for making dolls. That is my favorite if I can get that. I haven't seen it in a while. So I don't know what's going on with that. Ooh, we might do a button here. And you can make this as full or as not as you want. It's all personal preference. I'm gonna have to go outside and shake everything off when I'm all finished. Okay, so I'm gonna just close the sides. Tell me what you think. Do you think this fleur-de-lis is good to use for a carrot? I think it's absolutely adorable. Even though it's not a symbol that is normally associated with carrots or Easter necessarily. Okay, and I have a lot of just little debris to clean up, but we could just do a big button or something right here, and that would be super cute. Let's pop that on. What do you think? Pretty darn cute, aren't they? Okay, the last one, I made all the same stuff. So if you missed the beginning of this video, you can come back and watch it on replay as soon as I'm not live anymore. As soon as you don't see this little red button up here that says live. And this was my pattern, which I explained. And I cut the front out of some of this canvas duck fabric that I got at Hobby Lobby a while ago. But they did have a whole wall of different colors of canvas duck, and some of it had prints on it. So I just grabbed this. I don't know if you remember, but we made the most beautiful table runner using this about a year ago. Okay, and I don't know what we're gonna do for the top of it, so we won't close it all the way up, but I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna embellish it. We could either embellish it with, I think that would be the cutest, with some of these little pom-poms going down the center like they're buttons, or I could use a variety of actual buttons. But I think I want pom-poms. So let's just glue some on there. And then we'll stuff it so you can see what it's going to look like. And then I'll figure out the little top off camera, and I will get pictures, and I'll post those here in these comments, as well as just DIY Dreaming. Can you believe these adorable little pom-poms are just something you can get at Dollar Tree? These carrots are adorable. You love them. Oh, I'm so glad, Marcia. I love this stuff too, but I know there's people out there who are saying, okay, Heidi, you've done carrots for several days in a row. And it's true, I have. The day before yesterday, we did these and some other carrots. So how long can you keep doing carrots? This will be the last day for a few days that we do carrots or Easter eggs. We'll maybe just do some crafts that are not seasonal. You know what I mean? Or maybe we'll, I don't know. You know when I get my ideas for what I'm going to do the next day? It's usually at 3 a.m., which is the time the Lord wakes me up in the middle of the night, pretty much every night. Oops, blowing out the side. And you know, after I pray and do all that business, thinking about what I have coming up the next day, sometimes I'll go to Pinterest and start wandering around, looking at stuff, and then I get an idea. I see something that kind of appeals to me, and I think about how could I take that idea and make it my own and make something that I think you guys would like to see and do. So that's usually when that comes to me, is in the middle of the night. I'm going to just do a little bit of glue up here. I will tell you, this canvas duck is not very thick. And so that's why it's really wanting to fray up. It's probably a 4 or 6 ounce type of canvas as opposed to these others that I have that are probably 8 and 10. The thicker, the better. I'm not even kidding. So, well, what the heck? Let's finish this puppy off. Let's do another one of this. Okay? So we'll have 3 and 2. I'm just kind of doing a big loop. And then, where's my clamp? I'll hold it together with a clamp while I take another piece to tie around the end of it. We'll trim it up, we'll stick it in, glue it in, and close this up. Oh, Glenna says earlier today she watched my video on the felt needle book. That was such a neat project, you guys. And if you're like me, I can never find my needles when I want them. And you know, there's different size needles that are needed for different projects. So let me show you that as long as she brought that up. Where is it? I made this project 2 or 3 years ago and I absolutely love it. And it's just a piece of gray felt with some white felt pages inside, and you literally just stick your needles through it. I did do some little button embellishments. And then in the back I have a little pocket for these kind of needles and for one of those threader things. And my needles are all in one place and I can find what I need easily. And I just love it. And at the same time I made this, I also made a little pouch for my crochet hooks. Yeah, those are some of my favorite projects. Super useful too. Okay, let's trim this up. grabbed a huge package of glue sticks because I have been doing so many stuffies and things that were glue intensive that I was starting to run out of glue. And I like to use the Schurbonder brand that goes with this low temperature hot glue gun. So that's what I did. And I will trim this up so it doesn't have so many strings everywhere. See, look, I just got more glue on my hands. And I'm not crying or screaming because that glue is not ridiculously hot. I still am not able to figure out where I am using this angle. And I know some people like this angle and some people do not, but for me, I feel like it allows me to, you don't want to see this for the whole video. You want to see what I'm doing down here. And I do feel like it makes it a little easier for me to do that. So I hope you liked this quick video tutorial on making adorable carrots that you can use in doubles. You could also attach these to some kind of a garland or a long wreath with flags. You could do this exact same idea on a canvas pillow and make your carrots bigger and just glue the carrot shape made out of canvas deck onto the pillow, stuff it, close it up with however you want to do the top of it, and then glue the pom-poms on it. That would be adorable too. There's lots of things that you could do with this idea. You could make a table runner that has some 3D kind of ends to it. Anyways. Well, if you liked this, do a this or a this, or say something to me in the comments. Check to see if you've liked and followed DIY Dreaming. Thank you so much for the stars. I would love it if you would consider sprinkling. That is one thing that helps my little DIY Dreaming business grow pretty much the most. So I'd love it if you would do that if you want. And I will get pictures. I'll get everything cleaned off and get pictures, and I'll post those here in the comments as well as just on DIY Dreaming. I'm not sure if I'm going to be crafting again today. I might do another reel. We'll see. But anyways, I hope that you have a blessed and wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you guys later.